At this point, if I hear that song one more time, I'm gonna shoot somebody and then myself. What it do, what it be? It's the one and only T Diamond. And you are watching First Impressions, because the first impression is always the most important. I'm not going to clap on camera because, look, my nails are... I might as well have clapped on camera because I'm showing you my nails. They're jacked up. Let me tell you something. I don't know what kind of glue that they be using now, but it's like it fuses to your... It take your whole fucking nail off. Look at this. My whole nail is gone. Well, pretty much half of my nail is gone. I'm about to go natural. I'm just waiting for the rest of them to fall off so I can just... But they ain't going nowhere. I'm telling you. I don't know what kind of Gorilla Glue they be using, but it's on there. I don't know. So I'm going to have to try to really get it off myself. Anyways, that's not what this video today is about. Today, we are watching a video by 3 Colors. Today, we've got a video by 3 Colors. I saved this video from him a while ago, and I believed I watched it, but I didn't watch it all the way through, so I'm not sure what's about to be said, but the title of the video is She Literally Gave Y'all the Secrets to the Games Women Play. Okay, so we're going to get into it. Without further ado, let's start the video.
She literally just exposes the psychology of females when dealing with guys, and then apologize to females for giving out the secrets. All right, so let's listen to her, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Y'all was so mad at me, so I guess I'm gonna help y'all out, all right? So, if you want the girl to fall in love with you, here's how. Step 1, you gonna go and touch her in like the right places. It's not, I'm gonna touch your titties, I'm gonna touch your ass, no.
No.
You see, you're talking to her, she's chilling, good vibes, and you're just gonna put her hair behind her ear. It's so small, and it's like, oh my God, did he just?
Okay,
like, number 2,
I agree.
Y'all talking, you're this close, and you look at her eyes, and you can kiss her, but you're not going to. You are just gonna have like a little self-control. Like, she's gonna be thinking like, why doesn't he kiss me? Why does he want, like, it's the little tiny things that make her fall in love. Or number 2, you're gonna text her like, I'm 20 minutes away, we're going to Target. Or we're going to the gym or whatever.
Okay, so for some reason my computer messed up or something and it froze. So we're just going to try to pick back up where we left off. Okay.
Make her fall in love. Or number 2, you're gonna text her like, I'm 20 minutes away, we're going to Target. Or we're going to the gym or whatever. That way you don't have to spend a dime, and it's super friendly. But it fucks with her mind. Does he fuck with me? Does he not? Like, he likes spending time with me, but, like, we're not going on a real date. It's like, what is this?
Okay, I can, yeah. So, all right. So I was talking to a male friend of mine, and we were talking about, like, relationships and dating or whatever. And he was saying how, you know, sometimes he feels some type of way about, and now I may have my opinion on it or whatever. It differs a little bit, but also at the same time, I'm not a male, and I can empathize with his point of view, right? He was saying he sometimes feels some type of way about paying for a date, and like she's boring, or like, and it's the first time that they're meeting and things like that, and it's just like she's just not it. Not even like he's not having sex, but just like her as a person, you know, her conversation was dull, or her mindset just wasn't it, or just something about it that just wasn't what he was looking for. And then he's still paying for the date, so he feels as though like sometimes he, you know, it's like that bothers him sometimes. And you know, again, I have my opinion on it, but I also understand that, and I can empathize with that, and I can understand how that's frustrating. Like if I were to put myself in his shoes, or any male's shoes, you know, and it's just like I just paid for some BS. It's like buyer's remorse, you know, and not even necessarily because I don't play this when it comes to sex. Like when men pay for dates and they expect sex, absolutely not. But like, you know, you pay for a date, but then the person is just like not it, like no conversation, or like that's something I can sympathize with. It's just like, all right, you can, you know, I feel how that could be I feel like that could be frustrating. So I was saying like a way to mitigate that is, FaceTime or talking to a person on the phone before you actually go out and decide to spend money on them. Like you can talk to them, see where their mind is at, see what kind of things they're interested in, see if you vibe at all, if you can have because if you can have a conversation on the phone, you can absolutely have a conversation in person because there's nothing to go off of. Like when you're in person, there's like body language, there's other things happening around you where you don't necessarily your conversation isn't the most relied upon, even though it's important. It's not the only thing that's relied upon. Whereas if you're speaking on the phone, that's really the only thing you can do is talk to each other and communicate. So you get to see and hear and like really feel the person that you could potentially be dating, right? So I was like, I feel like that's a good way to mitigate the risk that you're taking as a man. If you're like, I'm paying for the date, right? And I agree with that, where it's like, well, what she said, okay, get ready, we're going to Target, or we're about to go to the gym, or we're about to do something where it's free, but I'm still spending time with you. I don't have to like really come out of my pocket too much. So if you're really not the type of person that I'm into, or you're not the type of person I'm looking for, I won't feel so bad about wasting money or spending money in a direction that I feel is wasteful, So, that's for men, I feel like that's a good thing if you don't want to pay for the first date, which again, I have my opinions on, but that's for another different video, That's for a different video. But I empathize with it. I definitely understand the sentiment for it. If you don't want to do that, talk to them first. Take them somewhere that's free, like something where you can do something together, but it's free. Like, you don't have to spend money on a date or a movie or an experience or a whatever, So yeah, I think that's a good idea. Continue on.
But I guarantee you, she gonna love it. And number 3, say y'all about to go somewhere for real. And she does her makeup. It's evident she got makeup on. You compliment a little thing like, I like your eyebrows, or I like your lip liner, or is that blush? It's something so small, but it's like, he sees me.
Yeah.
He sees. Because I know y'all be like, oh, you look better with no makeup. Shut the fuck up.
Right.
We don't care about that. We did our makeup. We don't need to hear you going, okay, let me not go on a tangent.
No, for real.
Way,
That's annoying.
Something. And lastly, this is where the toxic comes in. I know I was doing healthy. I was doing so well. But, I was toxic in the last video. Okay.
What was the last video? I want to see that.
Club, kickback, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna tell her, we're gonna take one more shot and we out of here. She gonna be like, huh? She gonna have to tell her little friend, sorry girl, I gotta go. He calling me. Okay.
She's cute.
But when you get in the car, you playing some good music, like a little something sexy. Hours and hours and hours.
Listen, hold on, wait.
She gonna
Let's talk about this.
What's the word?
That Hours and Hours song. Listen, today is January 23rd, 2022. He made this video on January 8th, so the shit was popping. At this point, if I hear that song one more time, I'm going to shoot somebody and then myself. I promise you, I'm tired. At this point, I'm tired. But, okay, so she said, we're going to go back to the house and then he going to put the 2K on. She did say it was toxic, but all right, let's go. Okay, come on, let's continue.
She's not gonna know what to do. Like, at that point, she's gonna be like, yo, you invited me over here and you playing a game? We're not gonna do nothing? At that point, she's begging for it. She wants it. You don't have to do nothing. You're gonna be like, oh, if you wanna do something else, we can. But, you working part-time, she doing a whole motherfucking job. I think,
Now, all the things she's saying may sound like a little weird or confusing to a lot of dudes.
I hate her.
Like I always talk about on my channel how women love emotional variety.
No, wait. She's funny as shit for that. I hate her. No, all right, so I'm going to tell you something. I will get mad, and I guess it depends on the woman, because she did say it was toxic. And I'm going to for me, and I'm only speaking for myself, if we had a kickback and we're having a good time and you say, all right, we're going to take one more shot and we're going to get out of here, but you present it as in a way like I don't know, like we about to go do something else, but then we go, like if I go back to your house and then you put on 2K and you're not talking to, I'm just in here. What the fuck am I in here for? I could have went home for all this shit. I'm going home. That's just gonna make me mad. I'm not gonna want it even. I wanted you, But now you just piss me off. And I don't like, that's going to be a turn off for me. So maybe this works for some women. You can try your luck. But for me, it's going to be a turn off. I'm going to go home. No. Enjoy your game. Enjoy your game, please. You're on live. Have a great time. Have a great time. I had a great time earlier, and now I'm going to have a great time by myself at my house. Okay? Probably bring the rose out. Whatever. I don't know. But I won't be here anymore because now I'm pissed. So I don't know. You can play your luck with that one. To each their own. Do what it is that you do. But for me, absolutely not. What did he say? He said women like emotional variety. That was the last thing I heard. My computer be slow when I be trying to pause it. Sorry, but let's continue.
That's why they don't like these simps. She just literally explained how when a dude does certain things, good and not so good. Basically giving her what she wants and not giving her what she wants. Emotional variety. Women are more attracted to a man that gives her emotional variety, not that simp stuff. Not a man who's just going to do what she wants all the time. That's boring to her. You know what I'm saying? When you can give her what she wants, and then sometimes you can push her buttons, for some reason that does something to them mentally, bro.
Mini story time. So this one time I dated a dude. This is a very mini story time. So this one time I dated a dude, and he was like that. He was like, I'll do anything you say. And on one hand, it's like, all right. But on the other hand, it's like, I don't want a doormat. I don't want you to just do whatever I say. Like, I don't want a slave. I don't want any of that. Like, I just want you to be your own person. Now, if you genuinely do agree with me, because I can tell the difference, right? I can tell if we're having a conversation and I'm saying something and then you agree with it and then like, oh, that's fine. Or just whatever, right? If we're on the same page, but it's a natural we're on the same page and it's not just I just want you to love me and I just want you to, you can tell the difference in motivation, like where it stems from. Why are you agreeing with me? Do you agree with me because you actually do agree with me, or is it just because you want me to love you? You know, like I can tell the difference. And I don't like I'm doing this just because oh my God, I just want you to like me. Ugh. No, I don't. Just be yourself. And if yourself is in agreement with me, great. But I don't like that shit where it's like, I can walk all over you. I don't want to walk all over you. I don't want to walk all over you. And if I feel like I can, I don't want that. You know, like, now on the flip side of that, because a lot of men hear that and they think, all right, well, she wants somebody to be against her all the time. Absolutely not. That's also a turn off. That's also where, I don't know what he's about to say, but it's like, give her what she wants and then give her what she don't want. Like, don't play games with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, some men, I get like they be hearing these type of things from different advice from men and things like that, and they think that they have to play games with women. No, at the end of the day, you just have to be your fucking self. Just be yourself. And I know that sounds very like cliche or whatever. Oh, just be yourself. Just be yourself. And that's a lot easier said than done, especially when you're faced with like something that you really want, someone that you really want. It's a lot going on in your head. There's a lot going on emotionally. There's a lot going on, you know, so it's easier to say, oh, just be yourself than to just actually be yourself. I get that, but that's where like the self-work comes in, and you just have to be confident within who you are, you know? And what helps me is like, even if I see someone that I want, right? If I have to be a different person in order to get them, I tell myself that's not the right person for me. So even if I want them and they're like very handsome, or in the case of males, they're so beautiful, blah, blah, blah. And I just, in my mind, I have this idea of what things would be like with them, or I have this fantasy, or I have like, whatever the thing is, that whatever the idea is that I'm attached to about them, about this person, if I have to be anyone other than myself in order to achieve this fantasy, or in order to experience this fantasy, then this person is not for me. So any opinion that I have, any interest that I have, any whatever it is about me, if it doesn't mesh with them and they don't like me because of it, then that person is not for me. And I have to be okay with detaching myself from whatever ideas that I have, because just because a person doesn't want me in the way that I may have wanted them doesn't mean that I am less of a person. I am still myself. And that person just doesn't mesh with me in the way that in my mind I thought that they should. Because we have our own reality and then there's actual reality. And a lot of times we begin ourselves caught up with these people being what we think that they want us to be and doing and being the best for them and all this other shit so they can accept us. And we end up putting ourselves in jacked up situations where we be losing ourselves or we whatever, like the reason why all these men be turning red pill because they give everything to a woman that's not the right woman for them and they choose wrong because in their mind they have this idea of a woman and they're ignoring everything of all the red flags and then they keep giving and they keep doing and whatever and it just doesn't work out in the way in their favor. And now they think all women are hoes, or they think all women just want money, or they think all women, and the same thing with women. They think all men just want sex, or they think all women just want to manipulate you and whatever. You know, so you got to be honest with yourself, be authentic with yourself. And yeah, and then you're going to get the best person for you. And it may take a lot of trial and error, but hey, baby, that's life. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's life. But yeah, let's continue. I kind of went on a tangent, but let's continue.
Why they like that? That's how they are, but that's just how they are. Okay? But watch this. This really gonna probably frustrate you right here. Before I go on, she literally just gave y'all the secrets, guys. Everything I've been saying, she just gave y'all the secrets. She said if you have a girl, you say, hey, let's go back to the crib, and she think that you trying to do something, and you literally just turn on the video game, start playing a video game, she's like, dang, you actually did all this, and then you didn't even want to do. It's gonna make her fiend for you. And even when she's fiending for you,
again,
I would suggest that at that moment,
it depends
don't give
on
her
the
what she
woman.
want. Just like, no, I'm good. Unless you're really fiending for it, then you give it to her. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, because that could
this for married folk.
The one thing I love to do more than anything.
That could definitely mess up your chances too. You gotta play it. You gotta play that one safe. Don't play with me. Like, one thing about me, don't play with me. I'm not someone that you don't play with me, because that will turn me off very quickly, because I'm not playing with you. I don't have games. What you see is what you get. What I present to you is my intention. I have no ill intention. I have no ulterior motives, whatever. So if I feel as though you playing games with me or you're trying to like manipulate me emotionally in some type of way, that's the quickest turn off for me. That is the quickest turn off for me. Because now I see, oh, okay, I see. For one, I see that you're not a genuine person. It's either you're playing games, he's manipulating me, he's trying to be something that he's not, or he's trying to do something and not present himself in who he genuinely is. What is it that you genuinely want? Who is it that you genuinely are? You know, like, if you genuinely are somebody who took me away from a fun ass time and made me believe that we was about to go do something else or together, and then you ignore me completely and play 2K, if that's who you genuinely are, I genuinely don't want you. And again, that's me. So pick and choose your battles.
Anything in the world is to make a man feel less than. You gotta crush that ego.
She said the one thing she likes to do more than anything is make the man feel less than. If you didn't hear what she said, I know she got like a little accent.
The one thing
Listen to what she's
more
saying.
than anything in the world
What?
is to make a man feel less than. You gotta crush that ego. So whenever I'm around him, I sniff the air, especially if I'm in his room or like I'm in his car, and I say, what is that smell? And I just look so disgusted. And he's like, I don't know, like, I didn't fart, nothing. And you just say, never
I didn't
mind.
fart.
Every time, he'll never feel like he smells good.
The games they play.
Secondly,
Now he need to shut up. Because how many of these niggas out here be like, oh, you gotta play with her. Oh, you gotta take her off her pedestal. Oh, you gotta make her feel like she ain't shit. Oh, you gotta make... The games we play? If anything, she probably got this out of a nigga rule book, to be quite honest with you. I don't do that shit. No, some people out here be sociopaths. I feel like that's some sociopathic shit. That's some really I'm playing games type shit. Like, no. You don't need to do that. That's something that people do, like, if I want to have control over you, if I want you, I don't really have real interest in you. I just want to play with you. I want you to be my thing. No, I don't like that. And that's on both sides, men and women. But this sounds like some shit. This sounds like some shit a man would do. Y'all be watching First and Fit and all these other male gurus and red pill, whatever, the whole thing, make a woman feel like she's less than. But this is the way the games we play. This is just at this point, it's a human game. Humans play games with other humans. And it don't matter what side you're on. At some point in your life, you're going to be played with by whomever. I think at some point, we're all going to have to deal with that. We're all going to have to accept that this is just some human shit. Again, I don't do that shit, and I don't condone that shit. Unless you genuinely smelled something, you're like, what does that smell? Then, I like, what are you doing? You're just, I just want to take him off his pedestal and make him feel like he's less than, so I'll have him in the palm of my hand. And then I'll make him feel like, no, and he's just mine. That's some really manipulative, evil shit, to be quite honest with you, on both sides. If you've been advised to do that, or if you take practice in doing that and you're consciously like, I'm doing this for the purpose of her questioning herself and second guessing herself and making her feel like she's less than and making her not feel good about herself, you don't really deserve love, to be quite honest with you. You don't really deserve no goodness because you're not giving goodness out. And that's on both sides. So we'll continue with that being said.
You change his name in your phone as Little Man. It doesn't matter if he's 6'6", 6'7". His name is Little Man with like the standing emoji too, like, you know. And I also love to go and like grab niggas' titties and their ass, not just their ass, their titties and their ass. That way they feel like the baddest bitch in the room at all times. And lastly,
and now she's funny.
This is the kicker. You compliment, after y'all do whatever y'all do, you compliment, the experience and say,
she
I'm
must
just
be a
so
Scorpio.
happy.
She's getting
Because
Scorpio.
sometimes when it's big, it hurts. And I like getting fingered more anyways, It feels more pleasurable, more personal when it's smaller.
Honestly, guys, I don't even have to provide much commentary on this video because she pretty much just told on. This is how a lot of women think, especially the ones who are actually very, very attractive. It's those type of women is the reason why why relationships don't really work. Is because a lot of women have mindsets just like that, bruh. So many women have mindsets just like that. They like to play games. It's fun to them because, like I said, women like emotional variety. They get.
You know what I think is very interesting. So I watch content for both sides, on the men's side and the women's side. And from what I get from both sides, everybody is the freaking same. Like, both sides like to play with each other. And I'm not even, listen, this is not, I don't know if this is even a majority thing. I think it may be like popularized, or unfortunately, like, because things are on social media and are sensationalized and pushed to be the narrative of certain things, that people perceive it as if it's reality, and this is how the majority of people think and feel. And I've even been, I won't say a victim. I don't like that word. I don't think that's the word I'm looking for. But I've even been, I guess, like a victim to that. Like where I've thought like, oh, men feel like this and men feel like that, and and it's like a placing a generalization on an entire population of people because of what I see on social media. Now, reading comments, now these are actual people, like comments and things like that, things that people say, that's your actual thought. You took the time out of your day as an individual to comment certain things. So there are things where it's like, okay, I do see the mentality of a lot of men. It's like, oh, y'all really don't like women, or y'all just don't like women. Y'all think women ain't shit. You want our vaginas, but you don't want us. And on the flip side of that, on women's side, they have a lot of the same sentimentalities toward men as well. And so what I think would help is if we, on both sides, look at the other, like across the aisle, and realize that the things that we feel about each other are not mutually exclusive to whatever gender that we have. Men play games, women play games. Okay? Not all men play games. Not all women play games. The world is not black and white. The world is gray. Black and white ain't even black and white. You could hold two black things up and it'll be two different shades of black. You can hold two white things up and it'll be two different shades of white. Black and white ain't even black and white. So if you go into the world having compartmentalizing and generalizing all different types of people, you're going to do yourself a disservice. you're going to put yourself in a bind and yourself in a hole, and you're just going to be living a miserable life in a way, especially if these generalizations and these compartmentalizations that you're putting people in are negative. You're going to feel negative. You're going to feel like you don't have hope. You're going to feel like you always have to be fearful of the other side. You're going to feel like you ain't never going to be loved. You're going to feel like all of this, like there's no hope for you. And that's unhealthy. That's unhealthy, because then also I talk to a lot of people and on both sides again. And it's like, is the majority really what they say the majority is? Now, I'm not going to say that they ain't no schemers and scammers out here. Of course, on both sides. And that's where you have to do your due. On one hand, you gotta accept that maybe you just might be played one day. And that's a part of life. That's a part of life. Now, it's a scary thing to think about, but it's also a part of life. So, and it teaches you a lot about yourself. It teaches you a lot about yourself, teaches you a lot about the world, teaches you a lot about things to look out for, right? If you've never been played, you don't really know what to look for in a partner. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you've never been played, you don't know what someone who's about to play you looks like for real. So I'm not gonna say it's okay to get played, but it's beneficial sometimes. And especially if you're the type of person who doesn't take an experience like that and allow it to warp your mind in the negative versus looking at it like, okay, I learned something. I've grown from a situation like this. I know what I want. I know what I don't want. I know what's good for me. I know what's not good for me, right? There's two types of people in life. You could be the type of person where something bad happens to you and you want to go ahead and perpetuate all the bad that has been given to you, because in your mind, well, it happened to me, so I'm justified in giving pain to other people because I have received pain or I'm currently in pain. Or there's another person where it's like, damn, I received this pain. I don't ever want to give this type of pain to someone else because I know what it feels like to be this hurt and I don't want to be the cause to that, right? So it just depends on the type of person you are. Depends on the type of person you are. When you receive certain things from life, when you receive certain things from the universe, whether through people and things, experiences, what lessons do you learn from that? And it's not always, and again, I'm speaking, I know sometimes it's easier said than done. I know that it's easier said than done. And I know that it takes phases to go through certain things. Like, you don't just immediately go through some BS with somebody or in a situation where it really messes you up. And then immediately you're like, oh, I'm a brand new person and I've learned something so great. Like, you may try to do that initially to help yourself cope, but you still gonna hurt. You still gonna feel that pain. You have to go through the stages of grief, right? But it's unfortunate that so many people get stuck in certain stages of grief where they blame others and their outlook is like their villain origin story. And now everybody has to hurt. And now all these bitches ain't shit. And now nobody have my best interests at heart. That only does you a disservice. I'm telling you, it's not like that. In the real world, it's really not like that. And a lot of this rhetoric and these type of channels that are telling men and women too, don't trust the other side. The main point of it is don't trust the other side. Don't it's them against us. They're your opposition. They're your enemy. Versus, no, this is that side. You're supposed to integrate with that side in order to create new. We're two halves of the same whole. But we've been being told like, oh, no, don't trust that side. Or no, on both sides. When in reality, look, sometimes bad shit happen. Sometimes people are fucked up and they do fucked up things to other people. That don't make it right. It just make it life. And if you take life as hard, that really, really hard, you ain't gonna really last that long, baby. You gotta have some understanding for yourself. And therefore, when you have understanding for yourself, you're able to give that understanding to other people, not to accept the bullshit that they do, but at least you can understand, and that helps you grow. That helps you to grow, because hurt people hurt people. If you out here finessing people on both sides, if you finessing women out of vagina, if you finessing men out of money, whatever, if you out here finessing people, there's something that you got going on within you that makes you comfortable inflicting that type of energy and that pain or that negative whatever onto someone else. And someone like me, I can understand that, and I can empathize, or I can sympathize for you And that helps me to forgive you if you have done me wrong. And that prevents me or helps to prevent me from being poisoned by ideologies that keep me stuck in a negative mindset, that keeps me stuck in being alone and keeps me stuck in being like, you know, like it's not a good feeling to be stuck there and just blaming everybody else. It's not what's up. So I know I kind of went on a little tangent, but I don't know. I just feel like both sides, we just need to just have more empathy or sympathy for each other. Recognize that neither of us are perfect. Neither of us have done all right by each other. We both do bad by each other. And at the same time, we both do good by each other. Let's recognize that we're all human beings. We all make, even though we have our differences as men and women, I don't believe that men and women are the same. But I do think we are equal within our differences, right? It's like fire and water, two entirely different elements, but both can tear each other up, right? So that's what I feel like men and women are. Two entirely different within our element, but we're equal with force. We're equal within force. Now, you may feel however you feel about that, but the reality is what the reality is. You can't have one without the other, okay? So we need to recognize and have sympathy for each other, reach across that aisle, have understanding. That's not to say that you have to accept certain behavior, but for your own sake, if you have understanding for someone, you are able to heal. And you don't have to be in pain, and you don't have to be suffering, and you don't have to go into things on the defensive, and you don't have to feel like everybody ain't shit and everybody's against you and don't nobody really want you and all. That's a bad place to be. It's just not, and I know because I've been there. I know because I've been there again. It's about the it's stages. It's stages. Okay? So I'm going to end that here. We on 30 minutes. Oh, you know what? No, we got about 1 minute left. I'm going to go ahead and play the rest of this video.
Get bored with the same thing. So what do women do? They just create these things, these ways to make life interesting for them. Even if it's at your despair, they create these situations to disrupt some things just to make life fun for themselves. No,
those are immature
us, guys.
women.
It's them. Now you have a few men, of
and
course,
that's an
like
immature man to say that.
Who understand the game and they kind of messing up for women and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's the women, y'all.
No, it's
the
both
modern
of us.
day women, not all women. You
it's
know what I'm
both
saying?
of us.
It's the modern day women, and for some reason, that's the majority of women that we actually have out here to choose. I'm thankful. I'm married to a woman of God who just loves to really. She's the total opposite of that, and I'm thankful to God. But
that means that there are women out here that are different than what men try to
I thank God
perpetuate.
For giving me that. For you guys, y'all need to pray too, because that's what you got right there. That female is the type of females you got. But pray y'all can get a good woman. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pause it right here. Again, like I said, we got to realize it's both of us. There's no one side that's better than the other. We both have our flaws. We both have our strengths. We both have our weaknesses. Both sides. We both have been hurt by each other. We both have done right by each other in more ways than one. Okay, so if we keep allowing, especially this rhetoric that we're seeing on social media, where it's men against women, listen, we just gonna be stuck in this perpetual suffering. Ain't nobody gonna find love because ain't nobody gonna be able to trust each other. At some point, we're all going to have to mature. We're all going to have to grow up. We're all going to have to empathize and sympathize with each other and also accept the wrongs that we have done and accept the wrongs that the other side has done. We all gonna have to take accountability for everything because it ain't just one side. If you think that it's just one side, you're a part of the problem and you're feeding into it and you're feeding into this BS. You're getting manipulated. You're getting manipulated. Now, that's not to say that you haven't had your experiences in life. Of course, we all have. But again, we all have both sides. We all have had experiences. It's not just you. So we got to step outside of ourselves for a second and realize, damn, the world is bigger than just whatever square miles that I be roaming in, you know? So let's not let them get to us like this. And I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end this video right here. If you like this video, I really want to hear from you all in the comments. Comment, like, definitely subscribe. I love you all. Until next time, bye-bye. Oh, I'm about to go get my nails done. No, I lied. I'm not. I'm about to let these. I'm hurt, y'all. I'm hurt. I'm hurt, y'all. But no, all right. Y'all have a great day. Love you. Bye-bye.